This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Time to put on your coat, hat, and booties, children. It's going to be cold out there. Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Bound by Flame. In the last episode, we finished Chapter 1 by defeating one of the Deadwalker generals, and we headed off to fight the Deadwalkers. Now, if you're on the demon path or human path, you still end up here. But if you're on the human path and help Prince Arundel, he'll join you in your quest. But if not, he won't join you, and you'll have different objectives and everything like that. But yeah, we got a whole area to explore before we go off to our thing to unlock side quests and everything like that. So this episode may be more character stuff before anything else, just for those who are curious or want action or whatever. So, oops, I keep pressing the wrong button.
Mercenary, I owe you my life. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, well, people are owed a lot of their things to me, so I am awesome. How'd you get out of your coma anyway? Yeah, you just kind of got out of it.
How did you get out of your coma in the village?
I don't know. All I know is that I opened my eyes and heard the sound of fighting. I just had the time to grab my weapon and get out into the village square. It looked like the general of the Deadwalkers was waiting for me. Sometimes the sense of duty is more powerful than the pain of wounds.
Maybe the cure we made finally worked.
Relmar told me about that. Maybe you saved my life twice, not just once. Who knows? In any case, I owe you a lot. I won't forget it.
By the way, he still gets up no matter if you do the cure anyway. The only reason to do the cure is for experience. So why not, right? It's an easy quest to do. Do you know Relmar well?
Do you know Relmar well?
I knew him well. A long time ago, when we were young. He and I were milk brothers. We grew up together in my father's palace. But life goes on, and by the time we were adults, we were forced apart. Relmar defied my father's authority and openly rebelled against his people. He betrayed us.
He had a good reason for it.
A good reason? What reason? Dragging us into a war with the Ice Lords without preparation?
Well, that's a tough decision. But Milk Brothers, I assume it means that they shared, they grew up together, maybe shared the mother's breast milk, stuff like that. But you can only infer. But anyway.
His cause was just. He refused to watch the other peoples of Vertiel suffer and fall one after the other. If the elves had helped, maybe we wouldn't be here today.
We could talk about how just his cause is for days. How could we know what would have happened? Maybe we wouldn't be here today. He wanted to act fast. He was always impulsive. But that behavior led him to reject his king. And his best friend at the same time. He betrayed us, and his recent feats of arms can't change anything, even if it wounds my heart.
If some butts were candy and nuts, basically. Why did the elves enter the war so late?
Why did the elves enter the war so late?
That decision cost us dearly. It isn't easy to watch the other peoples of Vertiel suffer and fall one after the other. But our king felt that we needed to gain time. We had information about the Deadwalkers that led us to be careful. Long before the war officially began, they were already crushing all of their opponents far to the north.
And you said nothing? You could have warned the other kingdoms.
We told them to avoid the fight, to flee and regroup. They didn't listen to us. So we preferred to stay neutral and not provoke the Ice Lords. They must have known they couldn't defeat us without losing a large part of their strength. So they saved the greatest prize for the last. We thought that our best trained troops could halt them. We underestimated them, and neglected to take into account the fact that each army they defeated made them stronger.
You fool! Yeah, I mean, they're undead. Like, what do you expect? Like, did no one bring that up at all? Whatever. Proud, proud cometh before the fall, or whatever. Or pride, I mean. Are you from Carthalis?
Are you from Carolthas?
Yes, I was born there. I spent most of my life there. Carolthas is one of the most ancient of our cities. I mean, it was. We knock things down so seldom that the city is built in layers. But I've unfortunately never visited the underground levels, and I'm unfamiliar with the passageways there. I suppose that's why you asked the question.
Yes, that is.
I'll be going now.
Alright, let's talk to some other people while we're here.
Vulcan, I hope you've got good news.
I haven't really done anything yet, so better options for entering Carolthitz.
I still haven't found your passageway beneath the city.
It's there, somewhere, and we have to find it. It's our only chance.
Yeah, if you're on the demon path, you get a different objective than what I'm doing currently. I think you have to take down some towers and some other things, if I recall, but we'll do that when I do that path separately later. About the Deadwalkers barricade on the road to Carolthitz.
Do the Deadwalkers still hold the main road?
Still, and it's a problem. We won't be able to secure the perimeter for long with the undead nearby. And we won't be able to take Carolthas with that road in enemy hands.
Well, right, I can take care of it. Yeah, pay up or take care of it yourself now.
I'll take care of those walking corpses before your men ever need to worry about them.
Thank you. That should give my men enough time to finish our mission.
Alright, I have some questions to ask you.
I have some questions I'd like to ask you.
How'd you survive the Battle of Carolthas?
How did you survive the Battle of Carolthas?
I was lucky. When we got wind of the arrival of the Deadwalkers, our king sent me to reconnoiter. I was outside Carolthas when they attacked. Over the days that followed, I tried to gather together as many survivors as I could. Alas, that was all I could do.
Do you have any information about what's going on in the city?
Do you have any information about what's going on in the city?
Very little. I can only trust what the last soldiers who got out have said. Apparently, most of the Deadwalker troops have left, including Lord Blackfrost. He assigned one of his concubines to control the region, but I have no idea what kind of creature we're dealing with. That said, if the Ice Lords keep to their usual tactics, they'll clean up the last pockets of resistance and start transferring their prisoners.
And then raising the other ones back from the dead, or turning them into Deadwalkers, right? Did you know if there's any other resistance in Veritel?
Do you know if there's any other resistance in Vertiel?
The rare information I get these days is not good. Several human kingdoms have capitulated unconditionally. The Chiller has apparently laid waste to one of the major elf settlements in the east. We have no news of the others. There are probably pockets of resistance, but they are tiny and have no hope against the Deadwalkers.
One more reason to hold here. We are Vertiel's last hope.
I don't like our odds then, if that's the case. What can you tell me about the prince?
What can you tell me about the prince?
I understand what you're asking. Is he up to it? The answer is yes. Since the start of this war, the prince has always been in the front line. He has demonstrated skill and courage, sometimes endangering his own life. He has, of course, taken some unnecessary risks, but the situation was different then. I think he'll be more cautious in the future.
I see. The young prince wanted to prove to his father that he was deserving of his affection.
He was merely seeking to protect his people.
You're not just saying that just because the prince is right there, right? But anyway.
I'll be going now.
Alright. Yeah, now we get the defeat the blockading patrol if we're on the human path. So if you're on the demon path, that's different. So, anyway, let's talk to Relmar.
Just in time, Vulcan. I'm afraid I need your help again.
What happened to you now?
To me, nothing. It's about my people. Have you ever heard of the Stone of Souls?
No. Worth a lot?
No. I mean, yes. It's priceless, but it's not for sale.
I'm not sure I follow you.
I'll explain. Every elf possesses a Stone of Souls, which contains the memories and emotions from all the greatest moments of his life. These stones are passed from generation to generation. It's a way of preserving the memories of our people and of honoring our ancestors. With all of those who died at Carolthas, there are thousands of stones abandoned in the city. We cannot just leave them there. You're no doubt the one who will be traveling to our city the most. If you could bring back as many of them as possible, I'd be eternally grateful. Actually, all of my people will be in your debt. At least the ones who still live.
Alright, we can do that.
Alright, I'll take care of it. But don't expect to see me dancing around with a wheelbarrow full of rocks.
That would in fact be an amusing sight. But I do get your meaning. Whenever you can, check the bodies of elves you come across and collect the stones. Even if we manage to save only a very few, we will at least preserve some of the memories of my people.
I'll see what I can do.
Alright, so we unlocked the quest to get 20, I think you have to get 20 elf stones or whatever. The elf stones kind of remind me of Eldar from Warhammer 40k. They have stones that when they die, their souls go into it, but the reason they do that is because some evil god will eat their souls if they don't have them nearby. So, you know, there's a reason for it, and it's basically eternal damnation for them, so it kind of sucks to be Eldar in 40k. Actually, it sucks to be anyone in 40k, to tell you the truth.
I'll leave you here.
But yeah, I think it's 20 overall. Let me see if he has any.
Relmar,
Yes?
Okay, yeah, now he has extra, so when we can ask him about it.
I haven't been able to find any yet.
If you wouldn't mind continuing the search, I would be truly grateful. Some of the stones might have been found already, but I'm certain that others remain.
Alright, change
Let's
subject.
change.
Let's see, any more questions?
I have a few questions I need to ask you.
It's not an ideal way to be coming back home. You okay?
I'm guessing this is not the way you'd always imagined coming back to your lands.
For years now, I've been waiting for the day when I could go back to my city. But deep inside, I've dreaded this moment. If I was ever coming back home, it could only mean one of two things. Either I'd been captured by my people, or I'd been forgiven because I was right. I would have preferred being captured. My city has fallen, and I do not recognize it.
Well, there's no time to give up, my friend.
This is no time to feel sorry for yourself. This war is not over yet, and your people need you now more than ever.
We have been swept away. There is no more army, no more supply base, and nothing left to fight for.
How long have you been harassing the Deadwalker army without getting caught by your people?
Nearly 7 years.
7 years of guerrilla warfare, and you're still here. You know exactly how Carolthas is laid out. You are going to be essential in the days to come.
Perhaps. We shall see.
I kind of understand why he has a pessimistic view sometimes. I mean, the way the situation works, it's pretty much almost like there's no way to win. That's just what it feels like, so.
Let's change the subject.
At least that's what it seems like overall, if we didn't have the power of the demon, you know.
I'll leave you here.
Except we decided not to take advantage of the power of the demon, so, you know. Alright, let's grab some treasure. There's some around here. Alright, gained gold, steel, 10 bones, a ranger helmet. Yay! Let's see if that's good for what I've got currently. Whoops. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna have to... We don't have to deal much in poison resistance at this moment, so I could probably just go straight magic, or at least straight defense. So, yeah, let's switch to the... I mean, I guess I could use it, so we're gonna deal more in magic than poison, really. All right. Well, anyway, let's talk to. Let's talk to Sybil.
Damn, it's freezing here. Aren't you cold?
I've spent many winters in libraries with no heating. After that, you hardly notice the cold. Which reminds me, do you know if the library in the city is still intact?
No idea. You looking for any book in particular?
Not a book, many books. The elves have the most advanced culture in the world. Their libraries contain works of inestimable value. We should find them. They could be useful to us.
I have other things I gotta do first. I have to accompany the prince, remember? But I will try to go with you so you can find your books later. Promise.
Yeah, as soon as we're done with the stuff with the prince, we can help Sybil with her, because we'll have to take her to the library, because she's the only one who can figure out about these books.
Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
Let's see. Questions?
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
What do you want to know?
I've been thinking about the books in the library. I still haven't managed to find a library for the moment. But this is not really the moment. We have bigger fish to fry.
Yeah. But
See you later.
we'll still do it anyway, because it's, it's a quest. It'll give us some experience and all that fun stuff, so why not? So, hey, Leistus.
Do you have a moment? I wanted to ask you a few things. What do you know about Carolthas?
It's a very ancient city. Far more ancient than it appears.
The elves are master preservers of architecture. They shrink from destroying, preferring to construct new strata on top. You can find traces of Karalthos in works that are over 1,000 years old. Some buildings, like the Royal Palace, are of unequaled complexity. But the city also incorporates more primitive districts. And there must be underground areas as a result of all these piles.
What happened?
What happened here?
As far as I understand it, the elfin army was caught unaware by powerful magic that buried them under ice in an instant.
They didn't stand a chance.
And how could they? Such magic requires the presence of a very powerful sorcerer, someone on the order of an Ice Lord. They rarely take to the battlefield, but when they do, all hope is lost. Rumor here has it that it was the work of Blackfrost.
Who is this guy?
Who is this Blackfrost?
Don't tell me that you don't know the name.
Don't take me for an idiot. I know what he is, but that doesn't really help much, does it?
He's one of the seven. He's known for his craftiness, his guile. He prefers using magic rather than his armies. In the past, he used to be more discreet. But for 2 years now, he's been leading the Deadwalkers' assaults, and is regularly seen in the front lines.
What changed?
I don't know. The Ice Lord's alliance is a delicate balance. It is possible that this is the result of an internal power struggle. He has certain abilities that make him fit for the role. Blackfrost is without a doubt very effective. Just look at the destruction around us.
Hate to fight a guy like that.
Let's change the subject. I wanted to ask...
Let's see. Okay, we're done with him.
Later.
Alright, anyone else? Oop, got a few other guys.
A good day to you, mercenary.
No, okay, nothing from you.
Greetings, mercenary. What can I do for you?
Can I have a look at your...
Okay, let's see what he's got. He buys mana potions and some accessories, so if you need mana potions, not right now, but we'll check into it later. Alright. I'm trying to remember where things are that you can collect are from, so that's why I'm looking around like that. So, alright, nice. Exploding trap. Excellent. Yeah. Castellano, huh?
Good day, even if the expression isn't necessarily appropriate. Can I help you?
Let me ask you something.
I have some questions I'd like to ask you.
Tell me about the battle.
Can you tell me more about the battle?
Battle? I don't really think you could call it that. We got wiped off the field. A defeat they'll be singing about in 1,000 years, if there's still anyone left to sing. Just when our troops were getting ready to take the Deadwalkers' assault, that monster Blackfrost appeared at their head. And in a flash, the Estelduin left its banks and came down on the city, then froze most of our troops under these huge blocks of ice. Not many survived, and our city, well, you could see for yourself.
How did you manage to survive?
I guess that's the advantage of being a smith. The fireplaces protected me, and I had the time to escape before the undead showed up. Without my equipment, unfortunately.
Would have been nice to have all this elven equipment I could have bought from, but oh well.
Do you know the prince personally?
I've done business with His Highness, yes, but I wouldn't say I really know him. I was honored enough to forge the first suit of armor that the king gave him. But I guess you're not really interested in the past. I can tell you that he hasn't let up since the war started. Several times after he came back to Karlthus, I've repaired his equipment, and from what I've seen, he must have been in the thick of things. I suppose he's our ruler now, as his father, may his soul reach the jewel, is dead.
Yep, sucks to be king, I guess. Long live the king, indeed. What can you tell me about the king?
What can you tell me about the king?
What do you want to know? He was lost in the battle, unfortunately. He was a great king, wise and cautious. Maybe too much so, if you can believe what's happening to us these days. I guess that despite everything, we should be grateful to him that we are the last to fall.
I don't know if that's much to think about, but okay.
Where's the elven army?
Army? What army? Our forces were decimated by the ice, and more died after that, killed by the undead or by despair. As for those who are still here, Their equipment is battered, and I can't do a thing. What can an army hope to do like that?
I mean, some armies have fared in worse conditions. I mean, look at the American Revolution and George Washington's army. You should read some of the horror stories about that, you know, trying to survive on a... Oh, what was the encampment that they had? Valley Forge, that's it. Man, it's been forever since I've studied my American history, but yeah. So, but anyway, I know this isn't the same thing. I'm just saying. Do you know Relmar?
Do you know Relmar?
Do I know him? He's a legend for us. His repute has grown since this war began. But to be honest, it wasn't always this way. He robbed so many convoys and carts, every craftsman and merchant hated him, including me. But how can we keep hating him now? In the end, he was right.
At this point, it's just like, well, might as well.
Let's talk about something
Just
else.
accept it that he was right, just because we're about to die anyway, so.
I have some questions I'd like to ask you.
Let's see. Nope, okay. Let's see
Show
what
me
he's
what
got.
Alas, not much. I'm missing so much equipment, but have a look. You might find something you like.
If you find something nice, it might be a piece of crap. Anyway, he's got some components. It's got Officer Greaves, which gives you a 6% defense and interrupt resistance. Royal Guard Gauntlets, which give you magic resistance. Tracker's Breastplate, which raises it to 15. Gives poison resistance and interruption resistance. And we can buy the Claw and the Leviathan and Royal Elven Scimitar. I think it was either the Claw or something. I could have sworn there was one of these weapons we could have gotten earlier, but I never found it. So I don't know if that was just a bug or an update from a previous version of the game. Because I played this game like a long time ago before this. And some things have been slightly altered since then, but not much. But anyway, yeah, we can buy the Claw, Leviathan, Hammer, or the Royal Elven Scimitar sword. So one of each. Fortunately, no daggers. But anyway, let's keep exploring and talking to more people before we head on out. Let's see, just seeing if there's anything. Nope. Okay, nothing. Grab the ear. And we got a resting spot somewhere around. Let's see, I think it's here. Yeah, we can sleep there. We don't need to sleep right now, though. All right, Baldwin.
I have nothing to say to you, mercenary. You want to follow these gutless elves? That's your choice, not ours. Now leave us.
All right, whatever. You don't have to talk to me, but you can't stay here. You know, I could kill you, you know, with my demon powers, right? Right. Anyway, let's talk to, actually, let's talk to the Lone. Let's see, let's talk to, Sentinel here.
Mercenary.
How'd you manage to make it through this thing?
How did you manage to make it through the battle?
Bit of luck, just like with everyone who survived. I'd pulled guard duty so many times in a row that I was sent on R&R. If you really want to know, I was in a steam room when the attack came, having a really hot bath. It was horrible. The deathly silence that fell on the city just like that, with just that awful cracking of ice. Anyway, I jumped into my uniform and ran like crazy until I found my commander. And now here I am. Nothing really heroic about it, I'm afraid.
Yeah, what is heroic about war in general when you think about it?
What can you tell me about your commander?
I hardly know him. I wasn't in his unit. As far as I know, he wasn't that high up, but he's the highest ranking officer we have left. Anyway, I have to admit that he managed to bring us together, set up camp, and get a bit of cohesion going in us fugitives. That's not too bad.
Not too bad.
How are things going in the camp?
Bah, we're short of everything and morale's not great. But we're together and alive. And most of us are really pissed off. In a way, you could say everything's fine. Even if I heard that the survivors from the human army were kicking up a bit of a fuss.
I mean, with the situation, makes sense. Alright, let's see. Nope, thought I saw... Okay. I know I saw some stuff to grab, which is down here, so let me grab that really quick. Let's just break our knees, why don't we? Alright, grab some gold. Alright, anything else here? Nope, okay. Go back and talk to the other group. I guess, I mean, technically I could have just ran the other way. Whatever. I wanted to climb it. Need to get my upper body strength, you know, work on my glutes. Oh, wait. Nope, that's the same random dude. Alright. Alright, who else wants to talking to? And here's the freeborn slaves. Ah, Renko's here. Yeah, Renko comes here even if you didn't choose him to be the blacksmith in the previous area, so if you didn't, that's fine. So
I wish I could go out on a recon, but the captain says I have to stay here.
yeah, you should probably stay here.
Huh. If I knew how messed up everything was gonna be. You know what a pain in the ass it was hauling my cart here?
I bet. But we're lucky you followed us. We could do with a good smith.
Yeah, well, seeing what's left of the village, it's not like I had a choice. With you around, business is better than ever. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
Still should give me back my money for what you did earlier, but whatever.
Let me see what you've made this time.
Alright, what does he got? Yeah, you could buy some of the old equipment as well. Lioness, Fatality, Judgment Reaper, Iron Grip Hammer, Dragon's Tear Sword. Actually, that was kind of gnarly. Agony. You can buy the Riders or Wyvern. Might buy that one just because it has a really high crit chance, but it's a bit pricey, so we'll see what happens though. Yeah, also exploiting traps, crossbow bolts, and raw metal and leather. So.
What is it, Vulcan?
I don't know. I wanted to ask you something.
I wanted to ask you. The Blades who were in the city, do you think they made it?
I hope so. I really hope so. After all, they shouldn't have been taking part in the battle. With a bit of luck, they weren't in the front lines when the ice wave struck. Generally, the Ice Lords don't kill those they capture. They like to keep their prisoners close by. Let's hope that our lads are amongst them, and maybe we can free them.
Yeah, we'll see, I guess.
What do you think of this situation?
The same as I always thought, that all of this fuss has made absolutely no difference. We are in the shite, and the only sensible thing to do is get the hell out of here as quick as possible.
You don't think we have any chance of winning?
How can you ask yourself that question, standing in front of this devastation? Either you're blind or stupid. Good gods, a whole army was decimated in the blink of an eye.
True, and just by one person too.
Do you know Carolthas?
I came here a long time ago, at the beginning of the war. We hoped at the time that the elves would help us. I was soon disavowed of that little fantasy. There they were, all safe and sound in their city, totally disinterested in taking any risk for any other races. I didn't stay long. When I learned that there was a battle brewing, and that the last of the human armies were gathering here, I sent a couple of our lads hoping to recruit some good men.
Let's change the subject.
Let's see.
I have to go.
Good on that. There's the knight.
The knight knows this region well. He came here once before while he was protecting a delegation from the Alliance on the way to visit with the King of the Elves. He would like to reconnoiter the area. He thinks he can find things that would be of great use to his friend.
Sure. Just watch out, because you know what happened out there.
If you think you can find something useful, go ahead. But remember, the position of the camp must stay secret, and try to come back in one piece.
Alright. And he'll be gone for a little while, so we can do stuff. And I wasn't going to use him anyway, so. Not that I don't mind using Rondval, it's just I like using like Sybil and Edwin better just because they're good range support.
Edwin, I need to speak to you.
What can I do for you?
I'm surprised you're not freezing your nips off, literally and figuratively.
I would like to ask you a few questions. I always hear people talking about the World Heart. What exactly is it?
First, forget all the children's stories about a friendly force for good, or its mythical dimension. The World Heart is very real. It is above all a source of power. It is from there that magic comes, as well as certain energies necessary for the proper functioning of our world. These energies can be captured and used. That is what magicians do. In their own way, each draws his power from the World Heart.
The demon insists we must purify it. That mean anything to you?
It's a good bet it is referring indirectly to the Ice Lords. As you know, those magicians have access to immeasurable power. This power has an origin and a cost. they drew it from the world heart with a veracity that is truly limitless. Each of the Ice Lord's palaces has a portal linking it to the source. Imagine leeches sucking away endlessly on the energy which feeds them. To purify it, you'd have to rid the world heart of all those leeches.
So all we have to do is go to this place nobody knows and clean out the all-powerful magical parasites. Sounds like a plan to me.
Just make sure to bring your bug spray. Aren't you cold like that? Yeah, someone brings it up.
Aren't you cold like that?
Is that your polite way of suggesting I'm indecently dressed?
I was simply concerned about your health.
I was simply concerned about your health.
Oh, how touching. But after having spent nights on end, trapped in a cage in the middle of the swamps, I can assure you that catching a cold is not highest on the list of things I worry about.
Since she probably has powers similar to those of the Ice Lords, if you haven't already guessed, she probably doesn't even feel the cold, or it's very minimal to her. We're trying to take back the town. Any suggestions?
We're going to try to take back the town. Any suggestions?
Yes, of course. You'll need to locate a unicorn, a few leprechauns, and perhaps a fairy or two. They are your last, best hope for retaking the town.
So you're saying it's impossible?
You catch on quickly. The might of the entire elven army was swept away in a few minutes. The red scribes and freeborn blades are only a few dozen strong. Be realistic. Your allies are disintegrating. You'd be better off fleeing this place.
And then what? Wait for the war to be lost? Put off dying another month or two until the Deadwalker army finds us?
You could hide yourself and learn how to control your demon. I could help you and speed your progress.
No way. I'm not going to leave the others to die.
No way. I'm not going to leave the others to die.
This incomprehensible affection for lost causes is going to be the death of you one day. But you could learn a few things in combat, I suppose.
What happened at Caroldas? Have you ever seen that before?
Wait until your enemies have gathered and then take them by surprise using magic. The attack on this city bears the mark of Black Frost. To cast a spell capable of freezing a river, he would have to be here in person. It's possible that he's still in the area. He could be your key to the World Heart. Find him and eliminate him, and the door to your goal will open.
Oh, of course. Let's just beat this general that with a wave of a hand he destroyed a whole army, just like Sauron did, so why not? We just don't have a magic ring or a special sword or, the Sword of Kings or anything like that, so.
Thanks.
Anyway, let's talk to Buffalo and see what he has to say.
Hey, Buffalo. I see nobody's managed to kill you yet.
Not before I've seen you blown up by one of your toys.
True. Questions? How's the company going?
How's the company doing?
If you were to spend less time hanging around with your new friends, you'd know. It's not wine and roses. Already there weren't many of us, and now it looks like our only hope of success in this goddamn war is lying over there, colder than my granny's tomb. We can't last too long in this situation. The captain has to decide to make a move.
I reckon the Deadwalker army will find us before we have the chance to desert.
Yeah, true.
Have you had time to talk to the human soldiers?
Yes, but they didn't say much. I don't think they trust us, or the Red Scribes, or anyone for that matter. They were just as stupid as we were. They thought they were going to join up with a great army to be safe. As you can imagine, they're a little disappointed.
Do you think they'll stay?
I don't think they're in any mood to fight. Once they've seen to their wounded, they'll be out of here the first chance they get.
They'll run away, but to where? Who knows?
What do you think happened here?
That we are no more than fucking insects to those bastard Ice Lords. Just one of them was able to wipe out this city with magic. We have no choice if we follow the rules. We have to find another way. Maybe your little flame problem could be a solution.
For now, we know nothing.
Tell you what, if you save our asses, I'll buy a round of drinks every day for the rest of my life.
I knew I needed some kind of motivation.
Alcohol, the true way to a man's heart.
I'm going.
All right, everyone's been talked to, and all the side quests, at least currently, have been unlocked. See if you have anything.
Greetings, mercenary. I hope you're here to help us defeat the Deadwalkers.
Well, we'll try. That sword isn't really fitting your hand very well. But anyway, so yeah, we've talked to everyone, unlocked all the side quests, at least currently. There's still more, but what awaits us outside in this frozen plain? Can we make our way to Kurhaldus? Well, I don't know why I have trouble saying that. I don't know why. Will the prince be able to show off his mighty skills, or has he taken a dip in strength since he's joined our team? Find out next time in the next episode of Bound by Flame. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.